Hey guys, welcome back to my shop for part 2 of the Defiants Indiana 2019 curved cabinet build. So we had, the last video showed you how I would do the router sled to curve the top, and one cabinet worked out great. The other cabinet I got some issues, so let me show you what's going on and what we're going to do about it. Alright, so you might recall what the tooling looked like last time. Here's what it looks like now. Main issues I had were trying to keep two individual templates on either side lined up in the front and the rear to the same height to make sure that the back edge there wasn't tilting in a different direction. That kind of caused me a problem on the second cabinet. Come on, focus, please. There we go. So it's a little hard to tell for all of the Evercote I have on there, but the left side of the front of this cabinet, come on, there we go. So from about the middle over to the left side, there's about 1/8 of an inch drop. So it was pretty noticeable when you looked at it. Somehow or another I didn't get things lined up right, and it just sort of tilted to the side. So the only real way to fix that is to try again. And this time I have to build my surface back up, and I used some Evercote, which is basically a more of a professional grade version of Bondo. This is the lightweight formula, this guy right here. So it's supposed to be non-clog, lightweight filler. Sands pretty nicely, and it should be. It's about twice as expensive as a normal can of Bondo. But anyways, I had to take this and coat the whole top layer, try to build up some surface. So this is what I did last night. I left myself a space right here because I like this height and this flatness. I'm going to use this to register my router bit and make sure I've got the right curve. And I'm going to use these two brand new MDF extended length templates that go clear down to a nice brand new particle board base sitting on top of my table saw, which is easily the flattest surface I have in the entire shop. So I'm trying to build a good solid base for this template so that both of these surfaces should be in the same position as the router jig slides across the top. So otherwise it's the exact same setup. I've still got a stop in the back. I've still got a setup in the front. Man, this camera doesn't want to focus. I have a setup in the front locking the cabinet down. I have a similar setup in the rear, and overall the sides are supported to keep the top from coming in on each other with this piece on the front and another one in the back. This one is screwed, so it's screwed through the walls there. The back does not have screws. It is simply clamped using that guy right there. So the main point of that is not to add any structure to the actual cabinet clamping assembly itself. It's simply to keep the front and back from squeezing in or flexing, because most of the base support is happening down here at the bottom. So I'm going to get all the safety gear on, and we're going to give this another go. We've made our cut onto the cabinet top once again, so things looking all right. Let's have a closer look. All right. As you can see, my table, maybe you can't see, focus. My table has once again become a giant mess that the camera doesn't know how to focus on. So I think the improved setup worked pretty well, and I really wish I had just taken the time to do it this way from the start, but you know, we live and we learn. So here we go. I think that the front is much improved. It actually looks more like a nice flat top line, much more so than that obvious slant it used to have. I'll have to still clean up some of this mess here with sandpaper, but that shouldn't be too bad. Additionally, I wasn't super duper careful when I was trying to apply this, so I expected to find little pinholes and stuff. That's not a problem. If I'm really, really concerned about that, I can put another actual nicely applied layer instead of just slapping it on there like I was icing a cake, and just use sandpaper because the shape is now what I want. You can see that I'm a human and not a CNC because there's still these stripes you can kind of see. Pretty clear to me. I think the camera kind of picks it up. Those are the different passes I was making and doing my best to hold the router nice and parallel to everything so that the bit kind of wasn't dancing around a little bit left and right. But, it's going to happen. It's not going to be a big deal. And by the time that I sand this to, 220 or something, give it a nice coat of veneer. Coat of veneer. One take wonder. Anyways, coat of veneer, it'll be fine. I think that'll be a much improved state of this cabinet, and it'll look a lot more like its brother here, which the more I stare at it, the more that maybe this one even has just a tiny bit of difference to it. I'll measure this one at like a 32nd of an inch drop from here to there. It starts, I think I feel it somewhere in there. This guy was 1/8 of an inch. It was plain as day obvious staring at it. You really, really have to get up on this one to notice it. So I'm not going to mess with it. It's good enough as it is. Okay, so a little more cleanup work to do here, and I will call this a success. Thanks for following along, guys. If you got any questions, please let me know.